Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you can all hear me. And you should be able to see the PowerPoint on the screen, as you can see there. So thank you for attending the webinar today. My name's Chris Spink. I work in the Customer Success and Partnerships team here at Senso. I've worked in EdTech for 7 years in multiple roles, from tech support to pre-sales and account management. So most of you will probably be our customers of Senso, and you'll know us in relation to classroom management, safeguarding, and network management. The beauty of Senso is we're a cloud-based solution, so it allows you to centrally manage schools, districts, councils, managed service providers, the only truly cloud-based system of its kind. So today, we'll be talking about some additional functionality which will allow Senso to stand out in this market, adding more strings to our bow and allowing our customers to increase productivity and better understand how devices are being utilized at the schools. And today, we'll be talking about our new module, Asset Cloud. So Asset Cloud was released back in November. So today we'll be showing you Asset Cloud, but we'll also be talking about a couple of sneak peek previews of what's in development. So before we start the demo today, we'd just like to invite you to join our community. So we now have a Discord community with over 100 members so far. So today we're currently live streaming this webinar on Discord as well as YouTube. So Discord, just to explain what that is, it's a free application which specializes in text, image, video, and audio communication between users in a chat channel. It's essentially a big WhatsApp group with lots of different channels to allow us to communicate with you better. So we want to stay connected with you. We want to hear your feedback. We want to know what features you'd like to see in Senso. We want to share your ideas with us, help others in the community, share tips and tricks. So how do I gain access to Discord? So if you're a Senso customer, we recently released an update on February 14th, last month. And you'll see a new message icon in the top right of your Senso portal. If you click that message, you'll see the message on screen. It says, "This Senso community needs you." So once you navigate to that message, you just need to click on the link to join. Once you've created an account on Discord, all you need to do is introduce yourself to the rest of the community. Let us know your name, where you work. Once we have confirmed you're a customer, you'll be granted access to the additional channels. We've got various channels such as technical support, feature requests, tips and tricks, announcements, general chat, teachers lounge, safeguarding, and of course, last but not least, everything but work. But at the end of the day, Discord is there for us to better communicate with our customers so we can improve the portal as time goes on. So before we actually start the demo today, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Also, tick the little bell, as the YouTubers say. You'll be notified when we live stream next. And again, if you're on Discord, you should be able to see all of our announcements, chats, anything new we bring out. We'll be looking to inform you of what's new. So let's show you a demo of Asset. So I'm just going to move over to the Senso Portal. We'll put that in full screen. So there we go. This is the Senso Portal, something you're probably aware of. Now, if I go to the admin center in the top right corner, which I've got open here, customers who have already purchased our asset module will have the asset manager option here. Now, just to go through a little bit of asset. So this is the overview page. So obviously the beautiful thing about Senso is the fact that it is cloud-based. We can centrally manage multiple sites under the same tree. And that's a good thing with Asset. Obviously, the more devices you've got, the trickier it is in terms of managing them, refreshing your devices, making sure that they're up to date and they're actually performing as they should. So we're able to report on the assets against an entire trust, a council, a large group of schools. It's not just the one site. So here we've got a dashboard. It's just showing you the total assets in your estate. So we've got 105 assets on our demo network. Out of those, we've got 95 Windows, 10 Chromebooks, and currently for Asset, we are currently supporting Windows devices to start with, and we will look to introduce further functionality available for things like Chromebooks and iPad and Mac. So here's a list of all of the assets. Again, you can filter them by the site, and you can make this list a little bit bigger. So I can see up to 100 assets at one time. So as you can see here, we've got some nice filters. You can actually filter these. So if you click the operating system as an example, it will break that down. You can also search for things as well if you're looking for a particular device. We've also got asset tag information, manufacturer, model information, and again, all of that can be exported or printed out for you to take away and digest. Now, we've got all of these reports. In our first version of Asset, which was released in November, we only had the overview report, security, and the performance report. So as you can see here, we've actually added quite a considerable amount of reports. Now, these reports do load up pretty quickly. You just click the button and it will take you to that report. But as you can probably see, I do have all of the reports pre-opened for today's demo. So firstly, we'll start with an overview report. That one just looks a little bit different to my last one. Just bear with me. So we'll just start looking at an actual asset here. So this is the details of that device. So you've got the name of the device, the manufacturer. This is a Dell device. It also comes with the model and the asset tags, which can be specific to Dell devices as well. Now, what we're doing is we're constantly grabbing information from the device, such as CPU usage, memory usage, and disk usage. So we kind of check the device every 30 minutes. We collate that information over 24 hours, and these will update to reflect the usage of those over the previous 24 hours. Now, we'll also show you the last user logged in, the most frequent user who's using that device, and then we've also got boot duration. So you can see what was the last boot duration, but what's the average? So are those devices, are they booting up slowly? Are they wasting a bit of your time? We've also got things like average CPU usage, average memory, and we can also look at reports around utilization, so making sure that the devices are online, they're being used, and they're not just sat in a room being idle for the majority of the time. Now, we've also got details of the operating system, so we're going to show you the Windows operating system, but then what version of Windows that is, and we do go a little bit further where we actually show you the version that's out there. So Microsoft do tend to update things quite frequently, and it can be tricky to understand what is actually out there in your schools. Now, we've actually got a nice report for this. It's called OS version report. So I can actually create a report, which I'll quickly show you now. So I can return devices where the version is before, between, or after a particular version of Windows. So I ran this report earlier. I wanted to see every device that had a lower version of 1906. As you can see, that's broken it down by the operating system versions. We've also got all of the manufacturers and the operating systems on the right-hand side. Now, if you actually click any of these charts, it will then filter all of your content below. So we'll just go back into the asset, which is right here. So then we've got things like the memory on the device. We've also got the disk space. So you can see the RAM on the machine, the actual disk space in terms of partitions. So you've got the drive letters. We're also going to show you how much free space is available and if it's also been encrypted. We'll also show you some network information. So you've got the network drivers. We're also showing you the MAC address, the average megabytes. So this is the bandwidth statistics. We've also got some reports on bandwidth statistics that I'll actually show you during today's demo. You can look at the CPU. So is it a i5? Is it an i7? How many cores does it have? And again, what's the model and manufacturer of that CPU? The display, this would be in relation to things like monitors that are connected to the device. So again, showing you the model, the manufacturer, and the current resolution, refresh rate, things like that. We've also got some information on the motherboard. Security is looking at the antivirus, so we can actually scan all of the devices to see if Windows Defender is enabled across the site, but we can also look at Windows firewalls and if they have also been enabled across those different types. We've also got UAC control as well, so we can actually see if UAC prompts are enabled on a particular device, which does make you compliant with GDPR. So that is quite an important thing for our UK schools. So if we scroll down, we've also got a list of all of the installed applications, the name of the application, the publisher, the installation date, the version, and the size of that software as well. So we'll just go back into some of the reports. Security report. So as I mentioned on that quick overview, we are able to quickly report on the antivirus, if that's been enabled, disabled, the firewall, and again, the UAC prompts. Now, performance, this is quite a crucial one because especially when you've got a very large number of devices, it gets tricky to understand, are your devices up to date? Are they performing how they should? Do they need refreshing? Do we need more devices? And especially in a purchasing scenario, it can be difficult to speak to someone like a business manager and provide them with evidence in terms of these machines are slow, these machines need replacing, I need a budget for new devices. So it can be quite tricky, especially in a school where budgets can be quite tight. So what we're showing you here again is the last boot duration, average boot duration, average CPU, average memory, powered on, logged on, and then idle time again. And the great thing with these can easily be filtered. So if I just filtered that one here, the average powered on, you can see that this particular device has been powered on for 28,000 minutes, but it was only logged in for 23. So why is that device not being utilized? The same again for things like the memory usage. You might have devices with 8 gig of RAM. You might have devices with 6 gig of RAM. Again, it's about understanding how are your devices different. Do they need refreshing? Are they being hammered all day in terms of CPU usage? Now, as I mentioned, this is quite an early product. We firstly released this in November. We've had a lot of good feedback from our customers who we've demonstrated this to, and today I will talk about some of the improvements that we're looking to make with Asset in the next version. So we'll move over to bandwidth. So we've got site bandwidth. Now I can actually take these things out of the report. So if I take a couple of devices out, that would basically refresh the report to show me the data specific to that device that I've selected. So this can also be flicked between sent and received. And we've got actually the raw data at the bottom in terms of each device. But then we've also got trend spikes. Now, for example, if you've got a certain trend within the day, it looks quite normal, but then you get a very large spike on a particular day. Why is that the case? And again, I can easily drill this down to show me that this looks to be Senso Desktop 9. So maybe that person is constantly streaming things on the internet. Again, I can, or a Windows update, I can easily, again, show that for sent and received. So we've also got bandwidth for the site, and this is showing you both sent and received. So again, if you've got a very large spike on a particular day, again, why is that? What are they doing? And you can better investigate why they're taking up so much bandwidth. Now, I did show you a quick report earlier to do with the operating systems report. We do have a similar report for software. So you can actually search for versions of software. So if I do this now, I'm just going to do a quick report. Now, what I like about this is it actually brings in all of the software that we've actually found on your network. So you don't have to think kind of what is the name of the software, what's the application name, and you can also search this. So if I know for a fact that these devices do have Senso installed, but again, I can do before, between, or after. And again, another thing I really do like is it brings in all of the known versions of that software from the network, so I don't have to physically remember what was the version that I'm looking for. So 2020, I want to see every device that has Senso installed before this particular version. So as you can see here, quickly creates that report, gives me a breakdown of the devices and the version of that software. And again, you can see those in a nice kind of pie chart to show you the breakdown. Now we can also do an actual software report. So I'm just going to close a few of these down. So with the software search report, it's kind of a case of you'd want to know where the software is installed. So I'm just going to go with Adobe Acrobat. Just going to run a report for that. Straight away, it's showing me what devices have got Adobe Acrobat and what version of Adobe they are using. So we've gone through the majority of the reports there. We also have a Neverwhere report. So those of you who don't know Neverwhere, essentially what you can do is you can refurbish or turn a Windows device into a Chromebook. So we have a lot of customers who are looking at Chromebooks and kind of going down that route. But they're also looking at how they can utilize their current fleet of devices and put those onto on a Chromebook. So there's certain requirements within our Neverwhere report where it will scan the network for devices that could be turned into a Chromebook. So that could be maybe if they've got 2 GB of RAM, as an example. So that's really the asset overview. What I'd like to do now is show you what's coming up. So I'm just going to close this down, and then if we go back into the PowerPoint, and I'll just go back to the actual screen. So straight away, in terms of development, what is coming in the next version, you might have saw on that demo that I had to kind of scroll through all of the details of those devices, where now we've actually got nice pretty shortcuts where you can, for example, just click on the network shortcut and that would show you everything in relation to the network of that device. So it's just about speeding things up, really. You can also see that we've got an alert section in the top corner. So I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But as I mentioned, a lot of our key customers are asking us for to be alerted on certain criteria. So one of the most common feature requests we came across when first developing Asset was RAG audits, red, amber, green. So with this feature, we'll be able to flag devices as a color depending on certain requirements. So as an example, any devices that have, say, 8 GB of RAM or above, they might be marked as a green device, so a healthy device. Any devices with, let's say, 2 GB of RAM or below, they'll automatically be marked as a red device, so a device that may need replacing or looking at. So this allows our customers to better understand the state of their devices. Are the machines fit for purpose? Do they need a RAM upgrade? Do they need a higher spec machine? So as I mentioned with alerts, we'll be able to create custom alerts. So as an example, some of our customers would like to be notified if the machines are consistently above 70% CPU, or perhaps the device has less than 1 GB free of disk space. So we can actually send you an automated email notification and flag those devices for you. But not only can we alert you on the criteria relating to hardware and performance, we're also going to allow the ability to create an automated notification based on errors within the event viewer. So a lot of our customers, they use Senso to run scripts. For example, we've got the command prompt, batch scripts, commands that you can create. So a lot of our customers would actually like to be notified depending on the result of that script. So if there's certain errors that are coming up on the event viewer, we can notify you and flag those devices of interest. So if you have pushed out a script, maybe it's failed, or if in general you'd like to be notified on errors, devices flagging up errors, that will be available in the next version. And we're also going to allow you to do custom reports. So those reports I showed you, they're all well and good, but we'd like you to customize them yourself. You might need something specific in a report for a specific purpose. So we're going to allow you to customize those moving forwards. So next slide, if I can get to it. So we actually have a special price promotion for Asset. We'll be running this promotion until April 30th. So if you are interested in looking at adding Asset to your subscription, this can be aligned with your current subscription. If you're interested, please email success@senso.cloud, and then we can let you know what the pricing is for this promotion. So I've talked a lot about Asset. We've talked a little bit about the developments that are coming. But I do want to make our customers feel excited. We are ever changing our program. There's so many things we're doing. It's about keeping you excited, keeping you on your feet, and you need to be asking what's coming next, because we are an innovator in this space. So new Senso module in development, support ticketing. So for us as a business, it made perfect sense to design a ticketing system. So technicians are currently utilizing Senso for remote control and support. So Senso is perfect for the management of sites because it's cloud-based. You can quickly remote onto any device anywhere in the world. So wouldn't it be great if you could create a ticket, remote support, and resolve that ticket and report on tickets all in one central portal across several sites? So just looking at a couple of those things on the screen, we'll be able to create tickets in many different ways via email, Webform. We'll also be able to assign tickets to technicians, add attachments to those tickets. Those tickets can also be categorized into things like categories such as like network related, software related, machine related. We're also going to show you estimated response times. You'll also be able to put in SLAs that you have in place, and then we can have an automatic countdown if you're approaching an SLA. Estimated fix times, and finally canned responses. Now, this is all well and good showing you on a lovely PowerPoint. I actually want to show you the screenshots of what's in development. So as you can see on this screenshot here, this will look familiar to you. You've got the list view, you've got the thumbnail view, and you've got policies, but now as you can see, we've got support tickets. Now you can create tickets. This is actually an admin dashboard, so we can configure this to show certain tickets by level. So maybe, for example, the IT manager of a trust or the top level administrator, they would be able to see all of the tickets across all of their sites. And we do have ways that you can filter this down. But as another example, there might be one technician who's assigned to one school and assigned to certain categories of tickets. So an admin dashboard, they'd be able to see everything, but the technician themselves, they'd only be able to see the tickets assigned to them. So as I mentioned on that previous screen, the filters. So we can currently filter by the date of the ticket, the current priority. If it's a locked ticket, the title of the ticket. So you can actually search for specific tickets by the title. You can filter it by attachments, the responses. So has there been a response? Is there a response waiting? Yeah, so as you can see there. The next one, it was really important for us because we understand that all of our customers are different in terms of their requirements. So we will allow you to fully customize the solution. So when I say fully customize, some schools, they might just want the status of a ticket. It would be fine if it just said open, closed, and resolved, very basic. Whereas some of our customers want to be a little bit more granular. You could have, for example, assigned to agent, in progress, awaiting fix, awaiting customer response, resolved, approaching SLA time, almost fixed, waiting to be assigned, and so on. So you can create your own resolution codes, you can create your own priorities. Again, low, medium, high, you might want to have something like low, medium, high, urgent, critical. So again, we'll allow you to decide what approach suits you best. Also, categories of tickets. So we'll allow you to create your own custom categories. So you'll be able to link a ticket to a category such as network, software, device specific, hardware. So again, we understand everyone is different in terms of their approach. We want to ensure the system can be customized to your requirements. So finally, we can actually create a ticket in many different ways, as I mentioned. So we can actually create the ticket within Senso, within our portal. So that could be, for example, if a teacher needs to create a ticket on behalf of a student. The most common ways tickets are created nowadays is via email. So the schools, the teachers or the technicians, they'll be able to email a specific email address, which will automatically create a ticket on the Senso platform. Another common feature request for us was creating tickets via Webform. So what we could actually do is we could have a ticket creation field on your website, on your school website. And then if anyone submits a ticket through the school website, we'll be able to pick up the domain name of that individual who made the ticket, and then we can push that to your tenancy, your license. So then it's automatically created on the back of an email. We've also got a new feature which came out a few weeks ago. It's called pin grouping, but we also have a feature called report a concern. There's now a thing called the student toolbar. So there's a toolbar on the student's device, and we could allow students to actually create tickets. That's something you might want to turn off just in case you get too many. But the good thing is you can create tickets in many different ways. So you might have a current approach with your current ticket solution, and you might want to keep with that same approach. You'll also be able to request a callback, attach files, and finally, canned responses. So canned responses will allow you to automate a response for common tickets. So for example, if there's a common issue that happens and there's an easy fix, we can create a canned response, which means you can just click the response and the ticket will automatically reply to the end user, including details of how to resolve. So a common ticket request might be, have you restarted the machine? Have you tried turning it on and off? So we can actually create canned responses, and that will hopefully allow you to save a little bit more time. So that's what we've got to show in terms of what's coming for support ticketing. So we hope to release the ticket module in around April or May. But then what's coming after that? So what developments are next for ticket? So reporting will then be on our main next focus. So that will allow our customers to better understand the workload of their IT teams, average response times, resolution times, the number of tickets you have by status, category, agent, and more. So we want the head teacher or whoever is involved to be able to quickly create a report to show how the IT team is being utilized and what things are taking up their time. So thank you for joining today. We hope you are as excited as we are for 2020. There's a lot of good things to be excited about. And finally, just as a reminder, with a special promotional offer that we're running, if you are interested, this is for all of our existing customers, can take advantage of this offer. We can align the asset module in line with your current renewal date. It's just a simple case of ordering before April 30th, and we can add that to your portal straight away. So again, if you're interested in the offer, just please email success@senso.cloud. Let us know how many devices you're looking to license asset for, and we can get the ball rolling for you. So again, thank you all for joining today, and yeah, hope you all have a great day.